Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Cities Skylines II, Part 9 in our Edgewood series. And I have to confess, this is my third time today to record this video. Both times I got rather frustrated with the game and some things I was trying to do, mainly revolving around the broken grids and the road tools and all of that. So I've decided I'm going to step away from where I was trying to build and what I was working on and do something different. And the reason being, if we take a look at our unemployment, it is creeping up again. So I thought it'd be a good time to maybe shift gears, go away from what was frustrating me, and instead do some industry stuff. So that is what we're going to do today. I think just for the sake of my sanity, that would be a much, much better approach. What I want to do is I'd like to build a farm. We could do that out here, but our problem is, where would I put the highway interchange? Let's zoom back in here. Mainly because we've got these two highways right here coming in really close together. We would need to come way out. Oh, hello. That was a weird flash. We would need to come way out here to really not have our intersections too close. And if I do that, how far are we from the farmland? I guess if we did a big interchange here, it could easily lead to some roads over there. So that's not too bad. And then there's also oil and ore out here. So yeah, maybe this is our spot. So let's click the right button and buy a lot of these tiles, but I want to make sure that I do get all of this farmland. So we'll buy all of that except for that ocean tile. We don't really need that or that one. And then I want to make sure I have enough room for the highway interchange. And we'll go there. We have a lot of tiles that we can buy. I mean, we've got 94. I've been banking them for a while now. Let's not do there on the edge. And then we'll come down here. And we may as well grab that. So do we have... I guess we should get that one just so we have that little corner. And then we may as well grab some of this and maybe even that one. I don't know. Let's grab that one as well. So cool. That'll get us some farmland, some ore, and even some burning forests. Maybe we could start a second forestry industry out here. That's always an option. We also have rail out here. It's right behind this highway, so maybe not a bad time to start investigating rail. So let's just keep buying. I mean, that's 53. Let's do it. Cool. So I am terrible with interchanges, so we're also going to spend some of our progression points on intersections. Otherwise, it will just be a bad time for everybody involved. I'd like to get the electricity out here just via roads. In order to do that, I am going to have to buy a couple more tiles here because I'm just going to add lights to the highway and let that be the way that we get the roads out here. We already have lights on one side. We have lights on both sides. Okay, cool. So, and that is true for most of the way out. It looks like they stop here, so we'll bring that up this way. And then we will just follow the highway to the next interchange, which is here. It looks like I really should have done these on the other side of the road, but that's okay. Because what we could do is this. Yeah, it's following it. Good. That's kind of impressive that it follows. And then we'll bring that way out to here because I'm not really sure where the interchange is going to be just yet. So that should have gotten us power out here, yeah? Yeah, cool. And then water, well, we're getting kind of close on our water production anyway. So we may just do a new water facility entirely out here. Let's look and see. We have some fresh water right there. But where's our resources? It'd be nice to be able to see all these. So our fresh water is like here. I think we can get away with it without polluting anything. So cool. So let's kind of keep in mind where that water source is. It's not showing me the water anymore. Cool. So it's there. So let's just plop this thing down, even though a road's required, just so I can remember where that is. And then I'm going to kind of come back into this view, and then cool. So my fertile land ends right about here, I believe. Pretty doggone close. I can do that. There we go. So that's where my fertile land is. So I want my highway interchange somewhere through here. So I'm going to pause for this since we are bulldozing a lot. I'm going to get rid of this curve for now, and then we can reconnect later. I really wish those two sides matched up, but they don't, so we'll live with it. And we're going to go into intersections, and you know, this is going to be industry. So I wonder if the Parklow might not be just our best bet, just to go straight to that. It can handle high volumes of traffic. Okay, so now that's quite in the way. It says it can handle high volumes of traffic. I don't have any reasons to doubt it. I don't really know that I like the dumbbell connection. Yeah, we're going to stick with our Parklow. And I'm going to kind of eyeball this thing to where it looks like we've got it in a good position to be able to match up with the curves that exist on either end. And right there, we're going to come in with just our gravel roads. And we're going to look at our fertile land here. And I'd kind of like to divide it up. We've got an idea of roughly where the grid would go if we were going on like a old land management thing. It reminds me of the area where I lived in Ohio. It was pretty agricultural, and that's just rough for now right there. And you had a lot of farms right up against the highway, and then once you got out into the farmland, it was very much like 2 miles by 2 miles roughly. For everything. I'm not going to go quite that big here, but I think I am going to go like 500 kilometers or meters. Ooh, 500 kilometers. So we can go 501. Good 501. But now we're going to back that off and try to get this to be a square. We might want to do some terraforming out here. I haven't really looked at the lay of the land. You know what? I think it's okay for what we're going to be doing for farms. Maybe where we put a little town out here, we may flatten some space out. But I think for now, we're going to be okay. So then I want to come up 500 meters again, or whatever that was, 504. And then bring that back across, and we'll shoot past a little bit. And then I want to go back into here. So yeah, we can get a little farm back here, a big farm here, fairly good sized farm there, and a fairly good sized farm there. And then out in this area, we can do some of the farming that doesn't require the fertile ground. So that is what we're gonna do. And if you're thinking, wow, you're getting this big giant great idea from City Planner Place, I'm not. I mean, yeah, I know he did it, but I was originally thinking about doing something like this for quite some time because, like I said, where I lived in Ohio, it was just a big country grid. I kind of like to follow the railroad, but I'm not getting a guideline off of any of this over here. And then I've got the power lines like right there. So maybe we just bring it in. I mean, I don't know. This seems like this is a bit close to the power lines to me. But I'm gonna go with it for now. Actually, I'd kind of like this to. Oh, I just killed the power lines. Oops. Let's replace those, shall we? There we go. By the way, where are these power lines going? Are they going? Oh, they are making an external connection. Now, are we selling to them? Yeah, we already are. So I guess I didn't need to run power under the road. I didn't realize power lines were here, to be honest. So if that's where the 500 goes, we are starting to go up quite a bit of a hill there. So what we'll do is bring this down. So that's within, it's like a tile and a half. So we'll bring this straight down here to about that same distance, and then we'll just run this down. And that'll be a small farm of some sort there. And cool. I think I'm going to be able to get away with another 500 here. Just. Yep, cool. And then let's go at 90 degrees. Get that to go across. And we broke. And I won't put up with the thing breaking. I'm just not going to have it. Even though we're just putting farms in, I'm not going to have it tonight. That is... Well, I just had to scrap the 2 attempts I've had on it. I got so angry with the game that it just became me venting nonstop. And as much as there are legitimate criticisms that I have about the game, I'm just kind of wore out with complaining about it, and I just want to try to find a way to enjoy it. If that's possible. And that's kind of the point of this whole series that I'm doing right now is, I call it learning the game despite itself. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Well, I did not leave myself a good spot for the water, but that's okay because I think I can still make it work. So this is a 4-lane road divided. Let's run that on down just a little ways. And by a little ways, I mean a kilometer or so. There we go. And then here we're going to do the same. Just run it down about a kilometer and then just dead end it. But I think what we could do here for water is bring off just a little service road back here. Like bring it off back here and then down. And that'll be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. And now we're not sharing water between the 2 areas. And I don't know if that's going to cause issues or not. I don't know how well Cities Skylines 2 handles that. But for now, I'm going to live with it. I can unpause the game since I have the highway reconnected. But see, we have rail out here, so we can easily do, like, since we've got our 3 industries that we're going to be doing, we could easily bring a spur off of this rail, like from here, have it turn and come up, and then have it turn and come up this way, and easily get to somewhere back here, or even cross over and go up there kind of closer to the oil. And service this whole area. And we can maybe even think about passenger rail as well. So kind of excited to do this. And I've been wanting to get the farms back in. So we've got it up there. We've got it on the top right corner. We need to bump back up that way a bit. And it looks like we're okay on these bottom corners. Now to me, that looks like that should build a farmhouse. And it did. Hooray. Maybe not facing the direction I want it to face, but I can live with that. So let's bring it out like that. Again, I'm not too worried about the grid being broken here because I didn't build that against a grid. If I wanted to be really picky, I could build a road back and then put that back, but I'm not gonna. We are gonna put in just a little bit of residential out here. One larger home, and then just opposite a couple smaller, spaced out a little bit. So we've got, like, the farmstead, the farmer's home, and then everything else is, we don't have sewage out here. Though I guess I do already have water pipes running under there, so I could bring them under the highway. All right, and that'll help, I suppose. Can I not do that, really? Okay. But I suppose this will help to have them by coming out this way. It's really hard for me to see where the highway is versus the railroad. For the simple fact that now we won't have one area being distinct from the other in terms of our water service, and they'll be able to share water. I like that this snaps to the road. That's kind of handy. But what I want to do is go here and then go in the middle of our highway. Ooh, we have a tunnel to contend with. How low do we have to go to get under that? Apparently that low. Okay, cool. And then we can bring this back up. Cool. And just keep roughly following the highway. It would really be in between lanes on the highway. Because, you know, city street, they're not so much worried about digging it up. Highways, yeah, a little more concern goes into that. So are we connecting here? Did that make a connection? It looks like yes. Yeah, so we're pumping our sewage a really long way, but that's all right. But you're saying you don't have power still. Why is that? Where are we missing our power jumping here? Oh, we didn't electrify it quite far enough down. Okay. I can adjust that real quick. Oh, I deleted some of the highway too. That's right. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll add lights all the way through there. And now we have power, yes? Question mark. Not quite. We're not quite getting there. Is this a highway? Oh, that's a highway. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just add some lights there too. And now we're connected, which means there's, yeah, I'll say, which means there's no power over our water pump. So we will just run some lights right there as well. And now everybody should be happy? Question mark. You are still not happy. Oh, because you still technically don't have road access. Okay, fair. Very fair. Now you do. Cool. So these guys are already complaining about high rate. Let's build an area for these guys. So we're going to go right behind the farmstead here. And then we're going to go right to, I think, this one. No, we're going to go right here. I'm just kind of looking where our line goes up here. We're going to go right to there on that. And then over to here. And then we're going to come down this side here. And then I'm going to add another point and bring that right down to there. I'm going to add one more point to here at a 90. And I want to add a point there, but then bring, okay, I always forget how to do this. There we go, I've added the point. I'm going to bring this in right behind these guys and come out to there. I think we could bring this in maybe a little bit closer. No, you know what, let's give them a bit of space there in behind the farmsteads. We can do some trees and things to make that look nice. And yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. We've got a Pelican biofuel at 64 Strawberry Lane. Strawberry fields forever. I love the Beatles. So we have tons more fertile land there. Tons more fertile land there. What other types of farms require fertile land? So that one that we just placed did. This one requires it, and so does our cotton. But our livestock does not. So we'll do livestock up there. We'll do like cotton here, and we'll do vegetables over here. Maybe we'll do 2 vegetable farms, like one here that kind of goes around the corner, and then one there. But let's look at our production. Like, what do we need the most of? We may need to let this normalize for a minute. So I'm just going to let this run for a moment and let this grain farm that we just built get up to production speed. Wow, so I just checked, and we're currently at 86% efficiency. And I've let it run for a little while. We're missing a few employees. Granted, it is still level 1. But we're only getting 77.6 tons. So thanks to Nikki, we know we can come in here and adjust this. So we've got the potential for 457 tons. So I'm thinking as this upgrades, because we are going to have a little town up here, but as this upgrades, I think we'll be okay. So I'm not going to worry with building the second one of those, and we're just going to move on to our vegetable farming. And then I wanted to go back into production one more time. So it looks like our textiles, our cotton, is really the lowest demand. Vegetables is the next highest demand, along with our livestock. So we'll do the smaller cotton over here. We'll do vegetables here and here, I think, just to try to meet that demand. So I'd like to have this farm kind of like here and spun around the right direction. So what I'm going to do is bring a road off right here and then right like that. That way we've just got a road for him to just snap to as soon as we'll drop it down. I'd really like it to be more this direction so I can maximize our area here. Cool. Why does it do that? I don't understand why that happens. Like, what is broken here? So we're gonna go to here and then. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to. I don't know here. I want this to then, yeah, come off this way, but I want it to be more, a little more this way. I'll turn off everything that are 90. I want this to be a little closer to my road up here. Can I have that, please? Thank you. Not that close, though. So let me get this one with all of our snap twos off. Oh my gosh, I'm having the hardest time clicking on that. Let me get that position to where I want it, then turn my 90 back on. And then that's not going to play nice for some reason. So let's do a 90 to there, and then bring this out at a 90, and bring this over a little more, and then maybe this one will play nicer now. All right, it says it's at a 180, so I'm going to choose to believe it. Oh, I dig that we have the old abandoned area out here. That's kind of cool. So now we're going to extend this on out, and then we're going to have this come over at an angle to right like that. And then we're going to dip down. I want to just dip down. There we go. But I have to put a node where this is, apparently. That's okay. We're gonna preserve that. So let's move that node and then come here. There we go. That is exactly what I wanted to have happen. And then this is gonna come down like that, and then this is gonna come down to the angle. And then we're gonna preserve it on that side as well. I thought I made a node, I guess not. There we go. Cool, yeah, I just want to preserve that like it was the old farmhouse once upon a time. Like maybe this is an inherited farm. And, you know, that's where the parents originally built or something. You know, we're not doing a whole lot of storytelling with this particular Cities Skylines series, but I will eventually get back into a bit of a story. So I think it's important to stay in the habit of thinking about how the game can help inform some of the things we would want to do with a story. Let's move this node all the way back to here. And then we're going to get this at a 90. There. Kind of an irregularly shaped farm, but I like it. But I wasn't paying attention. What's our harvestable amount here on this guy for vegetables? 343 tons. We may not need another one, to be honest. Okay, that's outside of my harvestable area, but it wasn't. So, you know, I'm okay with the irregular edge, though. So I'm just going to roll with it. So cool. That's for vegetables. And then if we go into production again, yeah, we're starting to see that. We're already seeing the grains kick up quite a bit. And wow, it's already nearly maximized. Holy cow. That's kind of nuts. I'm blown away by that. So let's go back into our production. Do we need to maybe do some more grain? Possibly. I'm going to let this run for just a moment longer and see what we wind up with. Yeah, I'm not really 100% certain on that, just because of the way it's showing me our production and what this. We know this is capable of like 400 tons, and this is like 300 tons. This says it's operating at 123% efficiency, yet we've only got 103 tons. I know that said 400 and something, yeah? Just double check here. 453. So is that just in total, but doesn't happen until we get to level 5? I don't know. I truly, truly do not know. So for now, excuse me as I hiccup, we are just going to move on and do cotton farm. And we're going to bring that back a little bit as well. And we're going to run a road right up to your front door, like so. And does that get you covered? Well, we got to go right to there as well. Okay, we've got some train things happening here. That's a little unfortunate. So let's try that again. Bring that. See if we can't keep that down on the ground. There, just had to run it a little bit longer. And I think I'd like a couple houses out here again. Once again, kind of like the main house here. And then maybe we'll do just like one there and like one there. Yeah, cool. I dig that. And then we want to define this one's area. So we're going to go straight over to the road here, all the way to there. And then we're going to make a node here, like about there it looks like. And then we're going to bring a node down. That right to there, and then we're going to bring that over, but it says that's at 94 degrees, so this is off somewhere. There we go, now we're at a 90. Cool. And I want to do the same over on this side, but I want it to come down a little sooner, but I am going to bring it over to the road first. And then I want the node right about there, and then bring this all the way down to there. Bring this all the way down to there, and then that's within a node to this road. I rhymed. Didn't mean to. I did. And it doesn't quite stay the same distance from the road. I'm okay with it if you are, type situation. And then we'll just follow our fertile land here, since it kind of doesn't extend all the way back. I don't see any need to bring this all the way back to the end of the circle. So what was that saying that we have? 286. And that is for cotton. Spinning spool. And we should see that we're getting cotton produced now as well. Yep, cool. So we'll be able to do some textiles. This, once we get our agricultural stuff, we might be able to help some stuff out there. So we want to get our livestock. We're slowly climbing here. Our deficit is shrinking. So livestock. We're going to probably do a couple of livestock farms. In fact, we can use this land right here for those purposes. And I'm just going to bring this one in right up against the road. And as I clicked it, the building disappeared. It was there, and then it wasn't. There we go, cool. And then we're going to bring this farm kind of right up against the edge of the one right next door. So we're going to go, we'll leave a little bit of separation here, but not a lot. In fact, I'm even going to follow that angle. I think I'm good with that. And then we'll just go right like that. We're going to bring this right up to the road as well. And I thought that had clicked in, but apparently I was mistaken. There we go, and then run this all the way back. Where's my road? There it is. Hello? Why did you not work? Wait, why is this saying harvestable resources for livestock? Why is that also not... There it goes. And for some reason it didn't want to go there. That's weird. And then I just want to bring a node right here, kind of line this up a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'd like it to be close to perfect. So that we have a clear, property separation line, but they still look like they're close enough, that, hey, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. I also like that this is kind of on rolling hills. I dig it. I know that as, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so outside of town, outside of the little town that I lived in Ohio, a little town called West Milton, which is itself about half an hour from Dayton. But going west, I believe, on I-70, there was this bright yellow farmhouse that sat up on a hill. And then its fields were just on these rolling hills next to it. And you'd see the farmers out there working it sometime. I don't know, that bright yellow house when I was a little kid, except I lived there when I was a little kid, just always caught my attention. And there's just something about it, the farmhouse. And I was always captivated by it. And it also had the barn with every few months, the advertisement on it would change. Because the farmer, since he's right there off the interstate, was selling advertisement on the side of his barn, which, good for him. Or her. I don't know. So what do we want to do here then? We've got all three that require fertile land. I think what I want to do is let all three get fully upgraded and fully staffed before I make that decision. That one's at 4 out of 5. That one's at 3 out of 5, and that one's at 2 out of 5. I went blank there. So yeah, I'm going to let this run for 10-20 minutes. It's usually how longer it takes for these industries to get upgraded. And then we'll see what our production's like before we decide what we want to do here. We can always divide this up into a couple of farms. And maybe even, there's not enough room over there for a third one, but maybe we could put a really small one here or something, or maybe divide this one up into two. I would just like to get as much of this production and not have deficits if we can get away with it. But I think it's definitely going to take a minute for that to happen. I suppose, actually, instead of just letting the game run, what we could do is come over to here. I want to fix this road, so I'm going to pause for a minute. And we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to eyeball roughly where that road was. And I want to come off at a 90, so it's about there. Maybe more here. Let's go right on that contour line. There we go. And I'm going to run that to there. And then we're going to hit our curve tool, hit our guidelines, and see what type of curve we need to have here. I'd like that to really be centered up on this, but that's not going to happen. There. That'll work. Cool. And then this is just going to be a small town. Probably maybe stretching a little bit back into there, but not a significant amount. But I'd like to get some services out here just to be safe. But to start with, I want to think about a grid. And like I said, we're going to go small here. I don't want huge buildings at all. So that would give me a 3x3. Let's go 2, 3 more back. We're just going to come out. I think that'll be fine right there. Oh, I'm still in. There we go. So what was that? I lost count because of there. So it was 128. Really? It was 128? That was only 120. I really thought it was only 120. Yeah, it was 120. So we're going to come out over here. 120. And we're going to go back. How far is that? Is 7280. And we're just going to have a little tiny grid back here. Not anything significant. This is not in any way meant to be a big town at all. But we do want to have, some services, some residential here to support the farms. And I think that's as close to the highway as we'd like to go that direction. So then we're going to bring this side out a little bit more, since this is a little farther away from the highway. And we are going to run this one past 120 so that I can come in with a larger road right here on the end. And that should, work just fine. And we're going to put that right there, and then we could probably get another block back here. I know you're thinking, didn't you say this wasn't going to be a big town? Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with that being broken there because we know the road turns there, and that's totally understandable. Like that too. Not do that. And I think we can even get away with making a connection here. Like, can I get a complex curve? I know that this works in theory. Okay, so that would be about the middle point. Bend. Oh, I almost had it. I'll take it. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. I'm okay with that. I truly am. So let's run that back there, that back there, and then this one we can just run straight through to that road right there. Cool. And then on the other side of the road, I think is where we're gonna actually let's put our school kind of down here. Just the town's gonna basically end. Well, it's not gonna end, but it's gonna be capped off. And if we do some more things back here, it'll be a little bit more organic. So let's go with our school right here, and I would like to have the school just offset from here just a skosh, because what I want to do in front of our school, and we definitely do need an elementary school anyway, so this is a good thing, but what I want to do is actually have the school be an area where our buses are going to go. So I want to do a one-way public transport. Actually, we can do two-way. Right off of here, right into there. And now, if I'm not mistaken, only buses can go on there, yeah? That's the way I interpret it. It's not straight. Actually, it was. It's just this is all wonky. So then let's upgrade this little section right here. Just to have a little bit of spend. Because what I want to do is bring in a bus shelter. Oh, does that not count as a road now? Road required. It does, but it won't let me put one of these in. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay then, so be it. Let's then instead do what we know we can do with the upgrade. Just trying to see how I want this to come off. My guidelines here. And that's not going to give me a guideline no matter what I do, is it? Nope. And then, how do I upgrade that to be a bus lane? I know there's a way. Is it then coming in here? Choosing upgrade? Yeah, and now hopefully I can get a bus, the nicer bus stop can go there. Cool. And then I just want a line that goes from here. Eventually this is going to be replaced by a train, but for now I want a way via public transit for people to get out here. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to go all the way back. Which is over here somewhere. There it is. Found it. Then right there. Cool. And so the reason I made this a bus lane is I just figured that would make it a little easier. That way we don't have people driving through there. We probably still will anyway. So what did our 3 farms do for unemployment? Nothing. It's high. Really? I added 50 jobs there, 72 jobs there, and 57 jobs there, and our unemployment is higher. How is that possible? Oh, and 31 jobs there. Oh, wow. Our money just was doing a thing there. Production. Oh, we actually have a surplus now on our grains, and we're quickly reducing the deficit on our vegetables, and right now we're running a decent surplus on our cotton. It's just these two that we still have a little bit of a deficit on, but the vegetables one, that's this one, yeah, it's not quite fully upgraded yet. So, and neither is that one. So maybe we'll do vegetables here and then just some more agriculture out that way. But let's focus on what we want to do over here in our little town first. I want to have just a little city services corner here. I wish the post office weren't so large, but it is. So we're going to throw that in there. We're going to have the fire station set off by 1, and then the police station is going to be right next door. And then for death care and health care, we're going to have a little clinic by the post office, and then right next to the clinic, we're just going to go with a crematorium. It doesn't quite fit, though. So we'll run the crematorium over here. Cool. Nice. And then our commercial is going to fill these gaps in between here, but not the whole thing. There we go. So we'll do some commercial there, a little bit right here, and that might be it for this side of the road. We may do some more on this side of the road. And then we are going to have just a little bit of medium density housing, just in a couple of places, just like rural apartments, which, yes, they exist. But I just don't want them to be too tall. And then for the rest of this, I want to go ahead and actually, I have an idea. Now, that zone on the wrong roads, or build on the wrong roads, it did, but that's an easy fix. We just get rid of the road real quick. Bulldoze these houses right here, and put the road back, which was this road right here. Turn our guideline snap to. What are you doing there? You're snapping to something over there. And then here, same thing happened, so we get rid of that. We bulldoze these houses here. Fill that whole area. There we go. And then put the road back. I know this is fiddly and not altogether necessary, but I don't like the houses facing on the side roads at all. I don't know why the bulldozers stayed open. There we go. Cool. Now I can put the road back. But now the next bunch of buildings I build, I do want facing that way. So what we're going to do is give it just a little bit of an old downtown vibe with... Oh, those are big, though. Ooh, okay. No. Not that big. That's too much. So let's control this a little bit better. Yeah, I'm good with that. Except that one's facing the wrong road entirely. There we go. Get rid of that. Oh, this one is 2. Ooh. Don't do that. I want you facing this road. So we will temporarily delete that road. Bulldoze this one. Oh, this is becoming a thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's okay, though. You know what? I'm going to do that. It's going to really kill things for a minute. But I'm going to now bulldoze all of those. Let those go back in. And zone that. Then bulldoze this again. And we're still getting too big of buildings. So what I've done is cut them. No, I haven't cut them off. Just these guys. I thought I'd cut everybody off from water and power, but I have not. Okay, so we've got to do this building by building again, or else the buildings will be too big. So let's do it. Unpause. There. Cool. Now we can put our road back. Like that. And like that. And then rezone our low density. Cool. Oi, now I get to do it again on this side. So we will go like there and there and there and there. Get those zoned in, or building at least. And then put our road back. Before too many people complain. Lost a few houses, but that's okay. It's progress. Cool. So that gets those in. We have houses over here going the wrong way. So we'll do the same thing. Bulldoze, bulldoze, and bulldoze. And then put the street back. And I'm just going to finish this for the rest of this area. Cool. Yeah, I think I dig this. So we just need to fill that in. So a little bit of density in through here, not a great deal at all, which I think is fine. What I do want to see is what our demand for commercial is shaping up to be over here, and it's non-existent. We do have students attending over here, though, and then let's just double check on our production. And we're getting there. We definitely need a bit more in the way of our livestock and our vegetables. But I want to let this just run for a while, so I'm going to do that. So we'll be back in maybe 10-15 minutes and see what this is looking like. So it's been 10 minutes. I did take the liberty of going ahead and adding in some more livestock to either side here, and then another vegetable farm right there. And then finished our zoning in through here, added a large playground, a small park, and then I also put the playground and the health center on our school. Just to get everything kind of rounded out. We're doing good right now on capacity for elementary. So we're gonna be all right with that. So one thing I want to do before we wrap it up is jump way over here and change something. This university's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It does a good job, but there's a better one. I think we should do the technical university because it does give a boost to industry and office efficiency. Its capacity is only off by 500, but we can add an extension wing to it. So we're gonna pause while we do this because I don't want to upset too many people. We're gonna move this to like over here, and then we're gonna get rid of a lot of these streets here because this will change kind of this whole area, and I just don't want these to be in the way. I don't know that welfare office is gonna stay. Well, we could make it work. Or we could just move the welfare office. No, this will work. This will be fine. Cool. And we're not going to do a lot with this right now. I just wanted to get it in there and get it giving us the boost. Interestingly enough, that did kick everybody out and our number of eligible went way down. That's really odd. I guess when you tear one down, they're no longer eligible and they have to build back up. Yeah, it's building back up, so that'll kick off just fine. No problem on its own. But that's going to give us a nice boost on our office and our industry. The last thing we need over here is some telecommunications. These folks need internet too. So I think we're going to take some space from one of the farmers and try to get the best coverage we can. Right about there, because if we then upgrade it, that should cover a pretty good area. Yeah, that even covers on into over here, which I do want to expand the little town over there. So I said final thing, but this is the final thing. Where I lived in Ohio, we lived outside of town, even that little teeny tiny town. And right across the street from our house, like right out the front door, was fields. And then there was a tree line behind us, and then behind that tree line there were more fields. So we're going to kind of replicate that here. The houses were fairly small, country houses. So we're going to try to go with fairly small houses. And then we had not a huge amount of distance between us and our neighbors, but enough that it gave us nice big side yards. People could have side driveways to a big garage out back. So I'm going to leave space between all of these, and I'm kind of working my way towards the center here so I can see how it's going to work out. So we'll do like a couple smaller ones right there. And then I think we're going to do the same thing over here outside of this farm, or this set of farms. So again, I want to leave a little space from where the road is, because we weren't right. The very first house set back several hundred feet from the main farm road that went by. Can't remember the name of the road, but it had a very country sound, very rural sound. It had the street we lived on, or the road we lived on, actually had a name. It wasn't just like highway number or anything like that. It had a name, but for the life of me, I can't remember it. And that way we have just a little bit more residential out here for people who can go work on the farms. Not a lot. I don't want it a lot out here. This is pretty much the edge of the town. In fact, we'll probably just go ahead and formalize that by having that dead end right there. We could even get away with probably bringing this down to a smaller road. Gonna do that. There we go. Yeah, because that doesn't need to be the bigger road there. This way they've got a dedicated turn lane, so they can handle some traffic. Through traffic from the farms can come out here pretty easily. And then anybody that's coming this way, which there shouldn't be because our farm road is there. I intentionally kept the farms off of those side roads, except there. That one might. But so let's take one final look at our production and see what we're looking like. Wow, we're suddenly making bank. So we're actually at a grain deficit now. That's interesting. But we are processing quite a bit of stuff now. For livestock, we're doing great and processing quite a few things. Same for our vegetables and same for our cotton. So we're looking really, really good on not having to import anything up here anymore, except maybe a little bit on our grains. And we could probably address that by having another small farming area maybe over here. In fact, we could get away with a really small farm right there. Or maybe even over here, or if we wind up building back here. But I gotta say, this was far more relaxing than the previous 2 times I've tried to record this video today. And I achieved that by just changing my plan entirely. I feel better. We built something smaller. We built something that actually benefits the whole region. It brings in jobs. Oh, we didn't check jobs. We added a lot of people, though, so probably, yeah, we're actually higher than we were. But this town's not going to expand much more, and it's going to also support oil and ore. So I'm okay with the fact that it didn't really take care of it, because in the next couple videos, we will. But I like it. Let me know what you think of our farming community, and it needs a name. I'm going to put a little district around this. It needs a name. We need something good for it. But until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.